here with Rob Brown, the director for the Configuration Center at Tech Data Canada. Rob, this is one of the largest facilities of its kind in Canada. Can you tell me a little bit more about it?
Absolutely. So we have a 16,000 square foot facility here in Mississauga, and we have a 2,000 square foot facility in our Richmond, BC office. Here in Mississauga, we have about 16 separately controlled project workstations. Allows us to manage up to 16 different projects for 16 different resellers at any given time. And about 160 total benches that allow us to put we have a throughput capacity of about 1,000 units per day here in Mississauga, and we have about 300 or 400 unit capacity in our Vancouver office with those 2,000 square feet. In Vancouver we have about 8 separately controlled project workstations and about 64 total benches.
You also do a lot of proof of concept here. How is that beneficial to the solution provider?
The proof of concept process is really about quality control. Our reseller partners are trusting us with their orders. We're integrating product and shipping it to their end user on their behalf. So quality control is very important to us. And that proof of concept process really in itself is simply put the reseller signing off on their product and the work instructions they provide to Tech Data prior to it going to their customer, especially for larger enterprise style rollouts where it's 200 and 300 and 400, maybe even up to 1,000 units at a time. We make sure that the very first product off of the assembly line here in our configuration department is signed off by the customer, that it, in fact we followed every step in the work instructions supplied by the customer, therefore they can be ensured when those units arrive at their customer's door, they can feel confident that the quality was checked.
You also assume a lot of the capital costs for a solution provider. How does that benefit their business?
The main tangible benefit to the reseller is that SG&A expenses are very much a part of any business in terms of cost control, and those resources need to be generating revenue and profit dollars for the organization as much as humanly possible.
Right.
At Tech Data, you can utilize our services in that you're only paying for bench time. When the product is actually on the bench, the amount of time it takes us to configure that unit, integrate it, download the image, rebox and send it out the door, you're only paying for the time that box was actually on the bench. Whereas in the reseller world, they have to employ those fully headcount that are fully responsible for integration as well as installation and services and so on. And we like to try to convince some of our customers to come take a look at our services, judge the cost control that we have in place, take advantage of our throughput capacity and our productivity capabilities, measure that up against the cost that they have their resources deployed against some of these programs, and find out if even if they're net the same, that by Tech Data taking over these responsibilities, they can redeploy that technician to a net new revenue opportunity.
Do you also offer private label services for resellers?
Yeah. Whether the product comes through our configuration center or not, the product can land at the end user destination with a packing slip with the reseller's logo right on it. So these services can be supplied to their end user customers completely seamless. They never know Tech Data touched the box. It's a value added service that our resellers can pass along to their customers. And the end user thinks that the reseller was the one that touched the product right from beginning to end.
Now, how quick is the turnaround for a solution provider?
All depends on the scope of the config work. We do everything in here from just basic asset tagging services through to full rack mount assemblies and delivery of the server installed in the rack mount, delivered on an LTL carrier right to our customers. So the complexities are pretty diverse in terms of the services we provide. For your basic hardware install on a desktop or a server, it's about a 48-hour turnaround time.
Okay.
On the servers, when the imaging is a little bit longer, we require 72 hours in most cases. And if it's a very large project where the quantity of units or the complexity of the image is quite long and lengthy, then we would require a quote to the customer to let them know how long and some forward notice. But outside of that, your basic hardware install is about a 48-hour turnaround.
Okay. Why don't we get an example of that?
Absolutely. Let's take a look at one over here.